Welcome back, everyone. I just love you. In light of Valentine's Day and love and hearts and stars and butterflies, my question for the day comes from Mary Moo 2222. What would be your best advice about keeping a marriage happy? I'm marrying my best friend who's also the best man in the world, just like Shay. Wink, wink. And want to make sure the day-to-day obstacles in life don't take away from what we have. How do you and Shay get through all the stress? This is a great question, and there's so many answers to it. Shay and I, when we first got married with the belief and the idea that we would be married forever. Going into the marriage gives us the idea that whatever obstacle comes about, we're going to work through it and we're going to figure it out together so that we can grow. And I can tell you that our journey of marriage is a journey. It started out with this love that we have for each other, and at the time we thought, how can we possibly love each other more? But we do. Every day, every obstacle that we overcome, every challenge, we love each other more and more once we work through it. One thing that I've noticed in my own marriage that has blessed our marriage incredibly and has just made us grow together as a couple is being honest. And it took a while to kind of work up to that point where we completely can tell each other absolutely anything and it doesn't matter. Because, back in the day, if he was like, oh, I don't think I like that shirt on you, I'd be like, what? You don't like this shirt? But if he can be completely honest with me and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I respect your opinion. Maybe I'll still wear it, maybe I won't. But even with the small things as well as the big things, when you're in a fight or an argument, if you hold everything in, it's just going to keep building and building and building. Or if you how women do sometimes. Does that bother you? No, I'm fine. Nope, it's fine. I do that sometimes. And I've learned to not do it, to work through it and say, no, that really bothered me, or I don't like this and this. You have to be honest. Complete honesty is going to only help you. With that being said, you have to be able to accept the honesty, because sometimes it's hard to hear the truth, but you're going to grow from it if you can. There's so many things I can say about marriage, because it's all those cliche things: patience, love, selflessness, all those things that people tell you you have to be. That's what you have to be in a marriage. Being selfless, being able to put the other person first and not yourself, being able to admit when you're wrong, which is really hard for me. I'll be honest. Sometimes I really feel like, no, I am right. I know I'm right. But then if I can stop and think about it and look at it from his perspective, sometimes I realize, you know what, I'm not really that right this time. If you can do that, just admit when you're wrong and be able to say sorry. And sometimes you need to say sorry even if you don't feel like you were the wrong one. Say, you know what, I'm sorry, I don't want to fight with you. I love you. And work through it. And it kind of goes back to what we talked about with discipline. If you can approach conflicts and arguments with a soft tone is everything. I really believe that. Just try to bring yourself down, calm down, breathe, relax, think about it for a minute, and then talk. Because you know how things go. If you start yelling, spouting things off, then it doesn't matter who's right or wrong. You both put up your walls. So how do you overcome the obstacles of stress, everyday life, and having kids and things that take away from your relationship? Shay and I have a relationship that we believe comes first. We were together before we had kids, before anything else happened. We decided that we want to live this life together. We want to take both of our lives and make one life, and us being a strong relationship and loving each other is only going to filter through to the happiness of your children, is what I truly believe. In Shay and I's relationship, our kids know that we come first. We love each other more than anything, because after they're grown and out of the house, we're still going to be there for the next how many years? Forever. So when we put our relationship first, our kids know that and they appreciate that, and I feel like they feel more security and love because of that. Which leads me to, how do you do that? You need to take the time. Make your relationship the first priority. Cancel something out, plan a date night, get a babysitter, and just make it happen. And you need to do this periodically, like every 2 weeks or every week if you can. Also, if you're poor, you're broke, you can't get a babysitter, you don't know anybody, put the kids to bed early and go spend some time alone wherever in your house. You know where I was gonna say. And that leads me to another important point. You need to keep your love life alive, not only emotionally, but physically. That's all I'm gonna say. Wink, wink. And I think the number one absolute most important thing you need to remember when you're trying to keep a marriage alive and keep it growing is to not have pride. Because I believe that the root of every single divorce or breakup or fallout is because of selfishness. If you're humble and patient and loving, you're going to get the things that you need. Just love each other and don't be selfish. And go on dates and say I love you and say thank you and please and all of those little things that are going to help build a marriage. Shay and I, we've had some serious conflicts. We've had some struggle in our marriage where we really upset at each other. But what we've learned through that is if we can be totally honest with each other and work through them, then we're only gonna grow and be stronger. All right, heavy stuff behind us. My goal for last week was to be on time. I'm not gonna tell you guys I was late today because I wasn't. Kind of. All right, I was late a few times, yes, but I was on time a lot more often than I usually am. I made it on time to church, and all the kids were on time to school every day. Keep going with that goal because it's a good one. My goal for next week is to be honest. You guessed it. So join me, let's be honest together. And one thing that I want you guys to remember is to not only be honest with everything you do, but with how you feel. Like in your relationships, tell your special somebody exactly how you're feeling. If you're upset, if there's anything bothering you, just talk about it. And be honest with yourself, because maybe you are overreacting. Think about it. And if there's something bothering you or something you need to stand up for yourself about, do it. Be totally honest, courageous. You'll work through it and it will be better afterwards. And one more thing I want to challenge you guys to do. If you are married, I want you to go on a date. Get a babysitter and go. All right, that's it, you guys. Be honest, love each other, and I'll see you next week. Bye.